CPS and MedicAlert are proud to announce a new partnership today. We will be working together to improve how first responders get information on anyone who may require special attention in an emergency due to a medical, mental health, or physical condition, or due to a cognitive developmental disability. Through the MedicAlert Connect Protect program, police and other first responders in Calgary will now have quick, secure, 24-hour access to registered MedicAlert subscribers' identity, photo, address, emergency contacts, and other vital medical information. Every subscriber to the MedicAlert service also wears a MedicAlert medical ID with a unique identification number on it, allowing first responders to access their profile even if the person is unable to identify themselves at the time. This partnership will replace Calgary's Vulnerable Persons Self-Registry, which was launched 3 years ago. At the time, the registry met the needs of the service and vulnerable Calgarians. However, the CPS staff time required to maintain the registry is no longer sustainable, and the information contained in its database was often outdated or incomplete as a result. MedicAlert was a natural fit to replace our own self-registry because they are a non-profit organization with over 55 years of experience doing this. Calgarians who need this service will also be better served because officers will be able to see and use MedicAlert ID to access important information, even if that person is unable to identify themselves at the time. Additionally, MedicAlert allows any first responder in any jurisdiction to contact them during an emergency using a 1-800 number, meaning that Calgary subscribers will benefit from MedicAlert's protection even when they are outside of Calgary. We are very excited for this partnership and have no doubt that it will make Calgary a safer place for vulnerable people. I would now like to ask Francoise to come and provide some comments from MedicAlert.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you to the Deputy Chief, and I think you've said a lot of what this partnership is about. So let me just add that we are honored to partner with the Calgary Police to assist people in the city in the case of emergency or wandering. As the Deputy Chief mentioned, MedicAlert Foundation Canada is a registered charity. Since 1961, we have protected more than 1 million Canadians in emergency situation. What is new about the partnership with Calgary and with also about 30 other police forces across Canada is now that we facilitate the access not only to traditional first responders, paramedics and others, but also provide and add information in the database that is useful to police officer. So in addition to the medical information, we also have cognitive information. We may have information that the families or the caregivers think will be helpful in the case that a family member or loved one is identified in terms of understanding the situation. So we have broadened the type of information so that at the time of an intervention, people can react fast and effectively. And we hope in that regard that it makes the experience better for obviously the person that may have wandered or eloped or maybe in a difficult situation, but also for the people trying to help. We know that time is essential often, and we're trying to meet that need. So again, thank you very much in trusting MedicAlert in doing so. And we are pleased also to have some people with us. So, Deputy Chief, do you want to introduce Jody and Seth? Okay. Well, now you're changing the plan here. So, we have Jody. And Jody, and well, you know what? I'm going to just backtrack on one thing. Because Jody and Seth are here as basically Seth is going to be our first first member of the Connect Protect Calgary and of the partnership with the police forces and with MedicAlert. But I just want to say also that Jody and Seth are here thanks to some of our partners. We have in the room with us partners from Autism Canada, Autism Calgary. We also have people from the Alzheimer's Society of Alberta and from Brain Injury Society. So Jody and Seth Neild will be the first beneficiary. And if you allow me, Seth, can I put this bracelet on you? And I'm going to do a poor job. Don't watch me doing this.
Can we have you do it up kind of more front here so we can...
More front?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. You know, I'm very nervous doing this. You know, I'm having a hard time with the bracelet. Okay, hold
Right
on.
there's good, yeah.
We're doing this.
Just come
Okay,
back and
set.
fight.
You're good. We're doing this, and we're doing a smile in this, or we're trying. All right. Okay. And I'm gonna put it on you, and then you can adjust as you wish to be comfortable. Thank you very much. And do we do the handshake like with the Deputy Chief? Thank you very much. Thank you. Judy, as a mother, and would you like to say a few words? And we have a second set, just in case you lose the first one.
Okay,
There you
great.
go.
Thank you. I would like to say that as a mom of a child with some special needs, it's really encouraging to see this next step coming together. Anything that can help us protect our children better is always welcomed with open arms. You know, we've had moments where Seth has wandered off, and it would have been nice to have that kind of thing in place then. So I'm really excited to have it now, and I'm really thankful that this opportunity has come for us as a family. Thanks.
So if it's okay with everybody here, I'd like to open the floor to questions. And they can be if just let us know who you would like to ask the question of, and we'll get.
I have a question. Can you just speak to the different types of ID that are available? Some kids with may not want to have a necklace or a bracelet per se. So could you just speak to the different modalities?
Yes, certainly. So obviously, MedicAlert, 60 years ago, the bracelet is what I think most of you know. But we understand that depending on the person and not being comfortable sometimes to wearing element, that we have to have alternative. So we have also a number of tags on for the shoes, for example. There's a necklace, there's a watch, and there's a number of elements. The element that is important is certainly the identification of the condition, but most importantly, it's the number, because the number then gives access to the police forces or other first responder into the information and into the hotline. In that regard, it can be also, if somebody really doesn't want to wear, there can be other alternative in terms of carrying a card or anything that will give that identification number. So yes, there are options, and we're open at developing more depending on the needs related to the various conditions. Thank you.
Who do you encourage to actually sign up for this? Like, what kind of medical conditions or what kind of people do you urge to sign up?
We have clients across a number of fields. We may have even people with no medical condition because, just as a mother, I was talking to Jody, when you have children and they go out without any identification, even that can be helpful for the younger children. But certainly, I mentioned some of the partners. So we have a number of members that are on the autism spectrum. We would have people with Alzheimer, for example, on the connective side. But you will also know from people and with allergies. Certainly are there. Diabetes, a number of conditions that are in that regard. I don't know, I'm going to look at my team. How many conditions do we have? We have people registered with hundreds of conditions. And the people maybe the most is when it makes a difference in the case of an emergency. And the emergency may just be somebody that wanders and we don't know where they are, and they're not going to be able to talk for themselves. So it's really that level, and then I think the person, the family, and or the caregiver will know where it can be helpful in that regard.
Do you plan to implement this in other cities as well, work with police in other cities as well?
We are right now across Canada in about 30 regions. Here in Alberta, we also have a partnership with Edmonton, now the partnership with Calgary. Recently we signed about a month ago with Saskatchewan, which actually is the first province with full coverage, both at the municipal, federal. So they basically connected all of the police forces across Saskatchewan. So we have the major city where basically having development, but we have to build as we have the capacity to do that. We want to make sure also that we train the officers and anybody that will have access. So we're pacing ourselves so that this training is well done. But the service, once you have the identification, anybody can call. It's not restricted to a geography per se.
And could you talk about the range in age of the clients that you have?
Oh, yes, certainly.
Don't touch the mic, I think it's interfering.
I'm doing it. Thank you very much. I don't know. What's the youngest?
Right after newborn, we have a couple.
Couple newborn?
100 years old.
Yes, we have the full range. I was just wondering how young we could get a member, but very young. Yes. There's a question at the back,
Can
and I cannot touch the mic. Sorry.
Can I get you to speak to the cost? Because this program has a cost associated
Yes.
with it. Membership is $4 a month.
Yes.
Plus there is a $24 fee that works out to about $94 a year. So do you have a program for people that can't afford this, for low income, or seniors on pensions?
Certainly. So mentioned before that we are a registered charity, but we do have to operate the services and have the systems that are sufficiently sturdy to provide it. So the regular, normally we would have for people that can afford it, it's about the cost of a coffee, right, a month. If a member could not afford it, we have a member assistance, and we can subsidize a portion or the full element. So for that, we also are seeking donation as a registered charity to help us out in that regard. But whoever is able to become a member and pay the fee is also assisting people that may not have that privilege. So we take that into consideration, and we have a number of members that we are subsidizing, and some programs also with some of the partners to make it easier for their members. In terms of the application, and I'm looking at our head of customer experience, it's basically when you contact us, the person are aware just to mention it, and we can look at the situation that we're looking at, and we can see also if you're a member of, for example, some other partnership, if there's anything else that can be done with some of those partnerships to provide the best coverage. Thank you.
Sorry, those who are already in the MedicAlert system here in Calgary, would they have to subscribe again to get the service with the police, or are they automatically put into the system with the police?
They're automatically covered. So all of the person in Calgary that are in our database will be protected through the partnership.
Has there been anybody, I don't know why they would be, but opposed to having their information collected by police?
Because of the way we operate, it's on a voluntary basis. So the people that will provide the information do it willingly. So in that regard, they are aware that this information will be available to first responders, including police forces. Thank you.
Can I add something?
Catherine.
Sorry.
Catherine Orlock is, and I'm touching that mic, the head of our our customer experience, but she is also here, and I think with Dave, right, people here in Calgary that make it possible. Catherine, you're going to need the mic if you want to say something.
I just want to clarify one
Catherine
thing, if I
Orlock
may.
from MedicAlert.
Thank you. People that are on the existing VPR today their information will not automatically go into our system. They will have to re-register into that system for privacy and all of those wonderful things. They stay here. It's not an automatic transition. So that's why the letters and the communications going out, so that we can make sure we get to you and get that information into our database.